In some months in 1996, Toy Story was released on VHS. However, between October 1st, 2004 to October 31st, 2004, Toy Story was being sold on VHS at a flea market. The day was October 7th, 2004, and I was at one area at the market. A man was selling a Toy Story disc. I bought it and went home. I inserted it into my VHS player, and it opened regularly, but it was wavy at the part when Andy picks up Woody. But when Woody said his 4 classic words, "You're my favorite deputy," it immediately skipped to Woody and Andy on the couch, and it was in a wide effect, and was in the jiggly kind of effect. Then it showed when Andy clicked the box, but it was pixelation. Then it showed a clip of a plane, and then it went to the scene where Buzz introduced himself to the toys on where he lives, at Sector 4. But this version I saw was in Spanish, but just that one scene. Then it just suddenly went static through half of the whole scene. Then it went back to the movie. As I watched, I heard someone outside my house. I looked and it was my mailman. He asked me, "Here's your Toy Story fan club pin." As I replied, "I didn't order a Toy Story pin." As I looked behind me, the TV was paused, but I didn't stop it. I said I would be back after the situation happened. Finally, I went back to watching my tape. I went down my basement, and what do you know, my dog, Chuck, was there. I asked, "Chuck, are you okay?" And he barked with effort, and when he went up to me, I hugged him. I went to drink a cup of coffee because I felt like I had a rough day. It was awful. I was not amused because the mailman gave me another fan club Toy Story pin. I said, "What is with all the pins?" I said in a very upset voice. October 9th, 2004. After Toy Story 2 was released at the same flea market, I bought that tape too. When I went home, I put in the tape 4 days later. Ages ago, I was a huge fan to Toy Story. My parents would always tuck me in bed and put on Toy Story. I loved that movie so much. I started having a weird feeling about something. After 4 days, I just put in Toy Story 2 VHS and it began with static for 2:45 minutes. It was really weird. October 10th, 2004. I will never forget the day I saw Woody staring at me at Disneyland. I went 3 weeks after the tape situation, but we don't care about Woody staring and stuff. One day, I met Randy Newman, singer of Toy Story songs, and I asked him how was it doing music for Pixar. He didn't say anything, but he played me a song on a piano. It had a hint of "You've Got a Friend in Me" in it. I would rather not go back to Pixar for the bad times that happened. I can figure my problems years later, but we will talk about that at the end of the story. October 11th, 2004. I said, "You know what? I am finished with dealing with this movie." So I got rid of the first movie and went to a picnic area to have a little picnic. A little kid was watching Toy Story on his Video Now color. I asked him, "Where did you get that Video Now?" And his mom said, "Anthony, let's go," as I ate my pizza and gave my dog a biscuit. I went to the playground area and it was completely empty. The only thing there was a Woody doll, abandoned, buried under the grass. I dug it up and brought it home with me. October 12th, 2004. I stared at the doll and put it in my closet. As I was watching a tape of Toy Story 2, it had a random code message on it. It said, 2FF7G223NB555. I wrote it down and went back to Pixar Studios. I asked John Lasseter, "What is this code?" And he replied, "Oh, mister, see you later. We are working on the new movie," in a very nervous voice. He gave me a Buzz Lightyear fan club pin. October 21st, 2004. Nothing really happened on the past 8 days ago. They were like any regular day. I was watching Family Matters. The episode was Little Big Guy. It was that one episode when Steve and Carl accidentally got shrunk by Steve's wickety-whack invention. Toy Story was paid handsomely for its big budget in the box office. I thought to myself, I wonder what happened to the Toy Story Woody doll I found at the park. I looked at my closet and his voice box sounded like the batteries were going out. October 25th, 2004. One day, I came to my nearby Starbucks for a coffee, and when I went home, Woody was on the floor, and the more days passed by, the more his face sculpting and his voice box got more decrepit. After that happened, I went in my garage and things were getting strange. I was at Burger King and I got a Whopper and a kid was looking at me. I asked him what he needed and he didn't say anything, but he just went to get a kid's meal. Then he just left. October 26, 2004. The doll began smelling like tooth decay. Woody's voice box was gone, his hands were missing, his face was melting, and his cotton was burning out. I was scared because my dog was alone in the garage. I got rid of the Woody doll and went for a walk to the park. October 28th, 2004. Yet again, a few days were skipped because nothing happened on those past 2 days. I have lost half of what happened on the tape situation, and I met a physical doctor. He knew how much losing half a memory meant to me, so he used a shot that knocked me out. I don't remember what happened much on that day, but I remember I heard a child chuckling because he remembered something he thought was funny. October 31st, 2004. It was Halloween day for me and my dog. We went trick-or-treating and got so much of candy. I still think of that horrible day, but when a kid knocked on my door and wanted a candy, instead of giving him one of my candies, I have him the Toy Story tape, but I fixed all the errors on the tape and gave him my Buzz Lightyear and Toy Story fan club badge buttons. He said, "Thank you," and despite the fact this was the same kid I encountered at Burger King. But I now encountered from that horrible day, but I still remember a little bit of the Toy Story doll inside of me. But I put a little sticky note on the tape before I gave it to the kid. The note said, "You saw Toy Story now, right? But no more evidence, huh?"